Tom, great to have you back. I know you've been in Canada for the last week. From the debriefs we've had already, there's a huge boom coming in the industry over in Canada in terms of construction. Where do you see that affecting us from a talent point of view?
The actual market is struggling for top level talent, and the reason why they're struggling for top level talent is there's such a construction boom that everybody's after top level talent.
So where's the boom come from?
In terms of high rise residential, there's a lot of people coming into the country. I think there's 1.7 million allowed into the country in the next 3 to 5 years. But it was quite interesting because every single contractor had exactly the same issue. So it's not just that we're looking at the country as a whole and going, right, we can solve one client's issues. The whole industry across exterior envelope, steel, modular, all screaming the fact that they can't get the installers, they can't get the labour, and they're struggling at project management.
So working in the industries I've worked in previously, then we'd go out to different talent pools. So say you've got a localised region where you couldn't get that talent, we'd then be able to kind of handpick the top level talent from Southeast Asia, from Europe. Is that something we can kind of do within our business now to help with Canada? Or
yeah, so the solutions that we are trying to put together at the moment are using their immediate schemes, such as the LMIA scheme. So as long as we can demonstrate that there's a shortage of talent in the Toronto market and there's not local talent, that we can gain visas, that we can put people through the process. It's slow, so it's not solving immediate issues, but it's starting to get faster. Another solution for drafting, for example, is an outsourced drafting model, where we're looking at basing drafting houses in Italy, in the UK, in the US, potentially in Asia. So we've also got opportunity to base a drafting office in the Philippines for a client. And I suppose that people are now looking a bit more remote. So, we have remote workers working as single source drafters, or single source drafting kind of capabilities, no management, but working externally. Yeah.
So obviously you just spent the week out in Canada speaking to new clients, old clients, prospective clients that come through. How have they taken that as a model? Are they open to it? Is there kind of some reservations towards that?
Well, they've kind of got no choice. So it's, like I said, the whole market's struggling.
Yeah.
And we're trying to find a solution. They're very open to finding a solution. Ideally, everybody wants everybody in-house.
Yeah.
But that's becoming more and more difficult.
Okay, so moving forward with what we do as a company, we're very process driven. We've got the ability and capabilities from what we've done. What do we need to change internally? What do you think the effect will have on Lignum as a whole?
We've got to be very open-minded in what we bring to the table. I think we can, go down the standard, find someone local from a competitor, continue to do that, flog dead horses, get to a point where the same people are moving around, salary increases, whatever it might be, or we can bring solutions to the table, which might be an outsourced drafting model, which might be bringing labour from out of Europe, which might be looking into remote workers that are capable of working remote and delivering the same level of skill that somebody local can do.
So looking at the options and solutions we're providing, kind of how are companies and how are we going to go forward with that? What happens if they don't want to bring on these solutions? Are they just going to go by the wayside, or are they then going to start falling behind in terms of projects they win or ability to pull candidates in?
Yeah, exactly that. I think that everybody that we work with or, we've spoken to have a huge backlog.
Yeah.
The actual kind of winning the work's not the problem. It's delivering the work. So there's a lot of pressure from GCs. There's a lot of pressure from obviously delivering the projects that they currently have on the plate. So people that are going to benefit are immediate clientele. Yeah. And the ones that do it fast will have the labour, will have the resources to deliver projects, which means they can increase the backlog and be ahead for the next couple of years rather than kind of immediate issues constantly.
Yeah. And do you feel if we as a company work together with them, increase that relationship, we can start to build a bigger foothold in the market with those people winning projects because we've helped them move forward quicker?
We're not seeing a lack of backlog. Clients have got backlog for the next 3 to 5 years. The clients that embrace the solutions on the table or are willing to change, everybody's got to be willing to change. Doesn't do the same things, not going to work. We'll be ahead. It might take 8 to 10 months. It might be a lot of graft. It might be a lot of process, a lot of paperwork, whatever it might be. But then you're 8 months into a 3 to 5 year backlog. So you've got labour coming into the country. You've got a lot more installers than you had 12 months ago. You've
Yeah.
got a lot more labour on the factory floor than you had 12 months ago. You've got an outsourced drafting model that can deliver you a lot more capability due to having more hands. And it's going to take, they're not immediate solutions. They're not like we can go out and find, 20 installers that are going to be able to move to Canada tomorrow. It's slow, it can be arduous, it can be a pain. But if the clients that embrace that within that, the next 12 months, they're well ahead.
Yeah. And then that's going to lead them into the future and put them ahead, like you've said, for the next backlog. And when those new tenders come out, those new opportunities and projects come out, they're already in a position to facilitate it from the candidates we provided. And hopefully they'll come to Lignum for that because we're already in the market.
Well, exactly. And this is not kind of, this is just focusing on delivering current projects. Everybody's that busy that are focusing on delivering current projects. You throw in, another 3 or 4 serious unitized projects on top of what they're already doing, or 3 or 4 stick projects, whatever it might be, then the process is set up. It's easier to run that level of recruitment drive when the process is set up, the heavy lifting has been done. So once we are in a position where their order books increase, we already have the process in play to facilitate more and more labour or more solutions from a drafting perspective, because we actually have the process in play and it's already set up.
Yeah. And you mentioned there both unitised and stick. Where do you see the market going in the next 4 to 5 years in Canada? With the speed that's required, does that play into the model's hands in terms of where that market's going to be in 5 years' time?
I suppose, listen, I'm not a technical guy, but I'm giving you my opinion from understanding the market from a recruit perspective. So someone will have a very different opinion, but from a project perspective, each have their own benefits. You're building towers, unitised, you can do off-site, you can look cost control, you can manage the weather, whatever it might be, and you're pumping out a lot of the same piece. Whereas the specialist projects are going to require more of a specialist approach, and a lot of that is done on site to be able to facilitate the type of complexity. If that makes sense. So each have their place. There's a lot of unitised going on right now, a lot of towers going up, whether that's downtown or in Vaughan or even in Hamilton. And there's a lot of unitised projects, but I still think that going forward there's going to be a lot of both. And also window wall as well. Yeah.
You spend a lot of your time in the GTA area. It's something that we're very good at and have got a great client base in. Where else do you see the Canadian market expanding for us as a company in the next couple of years?
Well, we're doing more and more in Vancouver. There's a lot in Calgary going on right now as well. I think that, from a business development perspective, from a Lignum view, we want to work with a certain amount of contractors that do stick, a certain amount of contractors that do panels, and obviously unitised. And we're also doing a lot of off-site work within the modular and steel framing world, because we're trying to build our business where we really are. Our clients are core per region.
Yeah.
We can't work with everybody, naturally, because we've got to get people from somewhere. So we're going to, our business plan is going to develop around each region with a select number of clients that we have a great relationship with. People value our service, and we can continue to deliver that. We're involved in strategy, involved in business plans, less clients, better service, and we will move throughout Canada and the US with that strategy.
Yeah. No, it's great saying, obviously, from my point of view, coming in only recently this year and working with yourself, it looks like we've got the ability to develop over the next 3, 4, 5 years as Lignum Group with our clients as well as ourselves.
Yeah, well, I hope so.